2 stories that will leave you shook. Story 1 happened 3 weeks ago, when my best friend Rachel got back from her family vacation to Florida. Rachel had always been the type to document everything on social media. I'm talking multiple Instagram stories per day, photo dumps of every meal, constant Snapchat updates. But she came back from this Florida trip and hadn't posted a single photo. When I asked how the vacation went, she just said it was fine, and immediately changed the subject to ask about my weekend plans. This was weird because Rachel normally gave me play-by-play accounts of everything that happened on family trips, complete with complaints about her annoying cousins and stories about tourist traps. Then I started noticing she was checking her phone obsessively during our hangouts. Like every few minutes, she'd glance at the screen, and her whole expression would change. She'd frown, type something back quickly, then shove the phone deep into her bag like she was trying to hide it from me. We'd meet for our usual coffee dates, and she'd be completely distracted the entire time, jumping whenever her phone buzzed with notifications. When I'd ask if everything was okay, she'd force this bright fake smile and say, work was just really stressful lately. But Rachel worked part-time at a flower shop arranging bouquets. How stressful could cutting stems and tying ribbons really be? The weirdest part was she started asking all these random questions about my family, specifically about my brother Tyler, like how often we talked, whether he'd mentioned anything about his new job, if I knew exactly what kind of work he was doing now. I found this strange because in the 2 years Rachel and I had been best friends, she'd barely acknowledged Tyler's existence beyond polite hellos when he picked me up sometimes. Story 2 started happening right around the same time. My brother Tyler, who's normally super social and calls me at least twice a week to complain about work or ask what I'm watching on Netflix, suddenly went completely radio silent. When I'd text him funny memes or ask about his weekend plans, he'd respond hours later with these short, weird messages that didn't sound like him at all. Tyler had always been the type to send paragraphs of rambling responses, complete with terrible spelling and way too many laughing emojis. But suddenly his texts were just 1 or 2 words. Yeah, busy, talk later. No personality whatsoever. He missed our mom's birthday dinner last week, which was completely unlike him because Tyler never missed family events. He's the golden child who shows up early and brings flowers. When I called to ask where he was, he said something urgent came up with work and he couldn't get away. But Tyler worked construction, and I'd never known any construction job that required weekend emergency shifts at 7 in the evening. I got suspicious and drove by his apartment complex that Sunday afternoon. His car wasn't in his assigned parking spot, which was weird because Sunday afternoons were when Tyler always stayed home watching football and eating leftover pizza. I called him immediately and asked what he was up to. He told me he was just relaxing at home, but I was literally staring at his empty parking space. That's when I started paying closer attention to both their social media activity. I noticed Rachel and Tyler had both posted photos from the same downtown coffee shop, but on different days. Same corner table by the window, same angle, almost like they were following some kind of pattern or routine. When I casually mentioned that coffee shop to Rachel, asking if she'd ever been there, she looked me straight in the eye and claimed she'd never heard of the place. Yesterday, I decided to camp out at that coffee shop and see what was so important about it. I ordered a latte and sat at a table with a clear view of that corner spot they'd both photographed. After sitting there for almost 2 hours, feeling like some kind of amateur detective, I finally saw Tyler walk through the front door. But he wasn't alone. And when I saw who was with him, I finally understood why both Rachel and Tyler had been acting so strange for the past 3 weeks. Tyler's eyes widen in shock when he spots me. Rachel's hand, which had been resting comfortably on his arm, drops away like she's been burned. They're sitting at that corner table by the window, their table, apparently with 2 half-empty lattes between them. Rachel's wearing the silver bracelet I've never seen before, and Tyler has his arms stretched across the back of her chair in that possessive way guys do when they're with someone they're dating. "Oh my God," I whisper, the realization hitting me like a physical blow. My best friend and my brother, together. Rachel recovers first, plastering on that same fake smile she's been using for the past 3 weeks. "Hey, what are you doing here?" I can't even form words. My brain is frantically connecting dots. The Florida trip, the secretive texting, the constant questions about Tyler, the missed family dinner, the lies about his whereabouts. It all makes horrible sense now. "I think we've been caught," Tyler says quietly to Rachel, his voice carrying in the sudden silence between us. People at nearby tables are starting to notice the tension. A barista glances over curiously as I stand frozen, staring at them like they've grown extra heads. "Can we talk about this?" Tyler stands up, reaching for my arm. "Please, just let me explain." I jerk away from him. "Explain what? How long you've been lying to my face? Both of you?" Rachel grabs her purse and stands up. "I should go. This is between you two." "Don't you dare." I block her path, my voice shaking. "You don't get to walk away from this. My best friend and my brother? Seriously? And you've been sneaking around behind my back for how long?" The coffee shop has gone uncomfortably quiet. Tyler looks around nervously, then lowers his voice. "Not here, Okay, let's go somewhere private. Why? Suddenly concerned about people knowing your business? That's rich coming from the two people who've been posting from the same coffee shop like some kind of weird breadcrumb trail. Rachel's eyes fill with tears. It wasn't like that. We weren't trying to drop hints or play games. Then what exactly were you trying to do? Because from where I'm standing, it looks like my brother and my best friend have been lying to my face for weeks. Tyler puts his hand on my shoulder, and this time I don't shake it off. Please. 10 minutes. That's all I'm asking. Let me explain. I let him guide me outside to the small patio area. Rachel follows, keeping a careful distance between us. The afternoon sun feels too bright, too normal for this surreal moment. How long? I demand once we're seated at a metal table far from other customers. They exchange a look that speaks volumes. It's the kind of silent communication that only happens between two people who know each other intimately. The realization makes my stomach twist. 3 months, Tyler finally admits. 3 months? The betrayal cuts deeper than I expected. You've been together since before the Florida trip? Rachel nods, her fingers nervously twisting the silver bracelet. I didn't go with just my family. Tyler flew down to meet us for the weekend. My parents already knew about us. Your parents knew before me? The hurt in my voice is unmistakable. We were going to tell you, Tyler insists, but we couldn't figure out how. It's not like there's a manual for telling your best friend you're dating her brother, Rachel adds. Or telling your sister you're dating her best friend, Tyler says. So instead you both just lied to my face for 3 months? Tyler, you missed Mom's birthday dinner to be with Rachel. He has the decency to look ashamed. I know, that was wrong. We were trying to figure out the right time to tell you. And when exactly was that going to be? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like you were perfectly content to keep lying indefinitely. Rachel reaches across the table but stops short of touching my hand. We were afraid of hurting you. Afraid of how you'd react. Well, congratulations. This is definitely worse than if you'd just been honest from the beginning. Tyler runs his hand through his hair, a nervous habit he's had since we were kids. It started that weekend Rachel came over to help you study for finals. You fell asleep on the couch, and we ended up talking for hours in the kitchen. Rachel picks up the thread. We exchanged numbers that night, just as friends at first. But then what? I press. Then we couldn't stop talking, Tyler says. Every day, all day. It just happened so naturally. What happened to barely acknowledging his existence? I ask Rachel. She looks down. I always noticed him. I just didn't want you to know I thought your brother was cute. So when did construction work suddenly involve the flower shop? I ask, the pieces continuing to fall into place. Tyler shifts uncomfortably. I've been helping rebuild their storage shed and install new shelving during my off days. For free, Rachel adds. Right, a favor. The sarcasm in my voice is unmistakable. And all those times you were stressed about work. I was stressed about lying to you, Rachel interrupts. It was eating me alive. But I was so afraid of losing you as a friend. You should have thought about that before you started dating my brother behind my back. Tyler leans forward. Look, I get that you're hurt and angry. You have every right to be. But Rachel and I... He reaches for her hand and she takes it without hesitation. We care about each other, a lot. The casual intimacy between them feels like a slap in the face. 3 months of secret meetings, shared jokes, private moments, all while I was completely in the dark. So what now? I ask, my voice hollow. You've been caught. The secret's out. What exactly did you think was going to happen? We want you to be okay with this, Rachel says softly. You're my best friend. And you're his sister. We don't want to lose you. The irony is almost painful. You should have thought about that before you decided that lying to me for 3 months was the best course of action. I stand up, unable to sit there any longer looking at their guilty faces. I need some time to process this. Don't call me. Either of you. As I walk away, I hear Tyler call my name, but I don't turn around. The betrayal cuts too deep, the lies too elaborate to forgive, with a simple conversation at a coffee shop patio. 3 months of deception unraveling in 20 minutes can't be fixed with apologies and explanations. What hurts the most isn't that they're together, it's that they didn't trust me enough to tell me the truth. I spend the next 3 days avoiding both of them. 17 missed calls from Tyler, 23 texts from Rachel, and one very awkward voicemail where they're clearly together, both talking over each other, trying to apologize. I delete it halfway through. My apartment feels like the only safe space right now. I've called in sick to work, claiming food poisoning, and I've been binge-watching mindless reality shows to avoid thinking about the fact that my brother and best friend have been living a secret life together for 3 months. 3 months. The timeline keeps playing in my head like some twisted math problem. If Rachel went to Florida 3 weeks ago, and they've been dating for 3 months, then I sit up suddenly, grabbing my phone and scrolling back through Rachel's sparse social media posts from the trip. There it is, a sunset photo captioned, Florida nights, with no people in it. But in the reflection of the sliding glass door, I can make out 2 figures sitting close together on the balcony. My phone rings in my hand, Rachel again. This time, I answer. What do you want? My voice sounds hollow even to me. Please, can we talk? She sounds like she's been crying. I can't stand this. You seem to stand lying to me just fine for 3 months. I know. I'm so sorry. She pauses. Can I come over, please? I shouldn't say yes, but some part of me needs answers. Fine. 40 minutes later, there's a knock at my door. Rachel stands there looking miserable, holding a paper bag from our favorite bakery. Peace offering, she says weakly, holding up the bag. Chocolate croissants. I take the bag but don't invite her in. Tyler wasn't available today? She winces. I thought it would be better if I came alone. I finally step aside, letting her enter. My apartment is a mess, takeout containers and unwashed clothes everywhere. I haven't had the energy to clean. Rachel perches nervously on the edge of my couch. I don't even know where to start. How about Florida? I say, crossing my arms. Tyler was there with you, wasn't he? Her eyes widen slightly. How did you? The reflection in your sunset photo? I'm not stupid, Rachel. She looks down at her hands. Yes, he flew down for the weekend. My parents invited him. Your parents knew before me, I say flatly. That's just great. They only found out a few weeks before the trip. We were planning to tell you when I got back, but then what? You chickened out and decided to keep lying? Rachel runs her hands through her hair, a nervous habit I've seen 1,000 times. We were afraid of hurting you. Every day we didn't tell you made it harder to figure out how. So Tyler's been working at your flower shop? That's what all those emergency jobs were about? She nods. The storage room needed rebuilding after the flood. He offered to help, and that's when we started spending more time together. One thing led to another. And you decided to keep it from me because I was terrified of losing you. Her voice cracks. You're my best friend. I didn't know how to tell you I was falling for your brother. I shake my head, still trying to process everything. I need to see your apartment. What? Why? Because I need to see what else you've been hiding. Rachel looks genuinely confused. I'm not hiding anything else. Then you won't mind if I come over. 20 minutes later, we're standing in Rachel's apartment. It looks the same as always, plants everywhere, colorful throw pillows, photos of us on the fridge, except now I notice a man's jacket hanging by the door. Tyler's. He stays here sometimes, Rachel admits when she sees me looking at it. I move through the apartment like a detective, noticing all the little signs I missed before. A second toothbrush in the bathroom, a pair of men's boots by the closet, Tyler's favorite cereal in the kitchen. You might as well be living together, I mutter. Rachel doesn't respond, just follows me silently as I continue my inspection. In her bedroom, I spot a small wooden box on her nightstand that I've never seen before. What's that? Rachel moves quickly, but not quick enough. I grab the box before she can. Please don't, she says, but I'm already opening it. Inside are dozens of folded notes, some on construction paper, some on lined notebook paper, some on fancy stationery. I pull one out at random. I've never told anyone this, but I've had a crush on you since the first time you came over to study with my sister. I read aloud, my voice shaking. 2 years of watching you laugh at movies and fall asleep on our couch. 2 years of pretending I wasn't completely captivated by you. Rachel is crying now. He wrote that the night we first kissed. I dropped the note back in the box like it's burned me. You've kept every single one. Yes. And you still want me to believe you were planning to tell me? We were, Rachel insists. We had it all planned. We were going to tell you at your parents' house next weekend, with everyone there for support. I laugh bitterly. How considerate. Ambushing me in front of the whole family. It wasn't like that. My phone buzzes. It's my mom, asking if I'm coming to dinner tonight. I'd completely forgotten about the makeup dinner for her birthday. We have to go, I say, shoving the phone back in my pocket. Family dinner. Rachel pales. Tonight? Yes, tonight. The dinner Tyler missed for his work emergency. You're coming with me. I don't think that's a good idea. Too bad. You wanted to tell everyone with the family present? Here's your chance. When we arrive at my parents' house, Tyler's car is already in the driveway. Rachel looks like she might throw up as we walk to the door. My mom answers, surprised to see Rachel with me. Oh, I didn't know you were bringing a guest, honey. Last-minute decision, I say, forcing a smile. Hope that's okay. Of course. The more the merrier. Tyler is in the living room with my dad, discussing some basketball game. When he sees Rachel walk in behind me, the color drains from his face. What are you doing here? He mouths to her. Your sister invited me, Rachel says quietly. My mom, oblivious to the tension, ushers us all to the dining room. Dinner's almost ready. I made your favorite lasagna, Tyler, since you missed it at my birthday. Throughout dinner, the tension is unbearable. Tyler keeps shooting panicked glances at Rachel. Rachel barely touches her food. My parents chat about neighborhood gossip, completely unaware of the bomb about to explode at their table. Finally, my mom notices something's off. Is everything okay? You three are awfully quiet tonight. Actually, I say, setting down my fork with a loud clink, Tyler and Rachel have something they'd like to share with everyone. My parents turn expectantly to Tyler, who looks like he wants to disappear through the floor. We were going to wait until next weekend, he says weakly. Wait for what? My dad asks, confused. Rachel reaches for Tyler's hand across the table. My mom's eyes widen as she watches their fingers intertwine. Mom, Dad, Tyler says, his voice steadier now. Rachel and I have been seeing each other for about 3 months now. The silence that follows is deafening. My dad looks between them, processing. My mom's mouth opens and closes several times before she speaks. You two? Together? She turns to me. Did you know about this? Not until 3 days ago, I say bitterly, when I caught them at that coffee shop downtown. Caught them? My dad repeats. They've been hiding it from me for months, I explain. Lying about where they were, who they were with. Tyler even missed your birthday dinner to be with her. My mom looks hurt. You said you had an emergency at work. I know, Tyler says, hanging his head. I'm sorry. We didn't know how to tell everyone. Especially me, I add. My dad, always the practical one, takes a deep breath. Well, I can't say I saw this coming, but you're both adults. That's not the point, Dad, I interrupt. The point is they've been sneaking around behind my back for months, my best friend and my brother. We were afraid, Rachel says quietly. Afraid of ruining everything. Well, congratulations, I say, pushing my chair back from the table. I stand up, unable to sit there any longer. Honey, wait. My mom starts, but I'm already heading for the door. I need some air. Outside, the cool evening air hits my face, and I finally let the tears come. Not because they're together, though, that's still a shock, but because of all the lies, all the secrets, all the moments over the last 3 months when they chose each other over being honest with me. The door opens behind me, and I hear Tyler's voice. Please, just let me explain. I turn to face him, wiping away tears. Explain what? How you two fell madly in love and couldn't bear to tell me? How you've been working at her flower shop and flying to Florida and writing love letters for months while lying to my face? He looks surprised. She showed you the letters? I found them, along with all the other evidence that you're practically living together already. Tyler runs his hand through his hair. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. No kidding. I've had feelings for Rachel for 2 years, he admits. Since the first day she came over, but I never thought she'd feel the same way. So when did all this start? Really? The night you fell asleep studying. We talked for hours in the kitchen. Something just clicked. The door opens again, and Rachel steps out, followed by my parents. Everyone looks miserable. We should have told you right away, Rachel says. That was our biggest mistake. My mom puts her arm around me. Sweetheart, I know this is a shock, but what, Mom? You're going to tell me to be happy for them after they've been lying to all of us for months? My dad clears his throat. Actually, they told us about 2 weeks ago. I stare at him. What? They came over for lunch one day when you were working, told us everything. Another betrayal. So, I'm literally the last person to know? We wanted to tell you together, as a family, my mom explains. Well, now everyone knows, I say, pulling away from her, and I need some time to process all of this. As I walk to my car, I hear Rachel call my name, but I don't turn around. The truth is finally out, but instead of feeling relieved, I just feel more alone than ever. I've spent the last week in a kind of emotional hibernation, ignoring the outside world and focusing on the betrayal that keeps replaying in my mind. The family dinner disaster was the final straw. Finding out my parents knew before me that literally everyone in my life was in on this secret except me left me feeling like I'd been living in some alternate reality. My phone buzzes for the 100th time. Rachel again. I silence it without reading the message and toss it onto my couch cushion. The thing is, I'm not even sure why I'm this upset. Is it because they're together? Or is it because they lied about it for so long? 3 months of elaborate deception. 3 months of fake smiles and manufactured emergencies. 3 months of them building a relationship while systematically excluding me from their lives. A knock at my door startles me. I ignore it at first, but the knocking continues, more insistent. I know you're in there. Rachel's voice calls through the door. Your car is outside. Please just talk to me. I consider pretending I'm not home, but the thought of her standing out there all day is worse than facing her. I drag myself to the door and open it just enough to see her face. What do you want? My voice sounds hollow even to me. Rachel looks terrible, eyes red-rimmed, hair pulled back messily. She's holding a small gift bag. Can I come in? Please? I step back, allowing her inside. My apartment is even messier than before. Empty takeout containers piled on the coffee table, unwashed clothes draped over furniture. I haven't had the energy to clean. You look awful, she says quietly. Thanks. So do you. She sits on the edge of the couch, placing the gift bag on the coffee table. I've been trying to reach you for days. I needed space. I know, she takes a deep breath. I miss you, and I hate that we're like this. Like what? Like you've been lying to my face for months? Like you and my brother have been sneaking around behind my back? We were wrong, she says, her voice cracking. We were so wrong to hide it from you. I cross my arms. Enlighten me. I've been your best friend for 2 years. You're the most important person in my life. She twists her hands in her lap. When Tyler and I started talking that night, it was just conversation. But then it became something more, and I was terrified of losing you. So instead you lied to me for 3 months. I know how it sounds. She looks down. But I was caught between the two people I care about most in the world. I didn't want to hurt you, and I didn't want to give up what Tyler and I were building. Did you ever consider that finding out this way would hurt more? Every single day, she meets my eyes. We talked about telling you almost daily. We had so many plans, so many conversations about the right way to do it, but every time we came close, I'd panic about losing you. I shake my head. You don't get it, do you? It's not about you dating my brother. It's about the fact that you both thought I was so fragile, so unreasonable, that I couldn't handle the truth. That's not. You've been practically living together, Rachel. You kept every love letter he wrote you. You took him to Florida to meet your parents, all while looking me in the eye and pretending nothing had changed. She doesn't deny it. Tyler wanted to tell you from the beginning. This was my fault. I was the one who kept putting it off. My phone buzzes again. Tyler's name flashes on the screen. Speaking of my brother, I say, ignoring the call. Is he waiting outside too? No. He wanted to come, but I thought it would be better if I talked to you alone first. I sit down in the armchair across from her. So, talk. Rachel takes a deep breath. Tyler has had feelings for me since we met. Did he tell you that? He mentioned something about a 2-year crush. She nods. I noticed him too, from the beginning. But I never said anything because he was your brother, and I didn't want to make things weird between us. So what changed? That night you fell asleep studying. We just connected. We talked for hours about everything, our childhoods, our dreams, our fears. It was like discovering a person I'd known all along but never really seen. Despite my anger, I can picture it clearly, Rachel and Tyler in my parents' kitchen, talking quietly while I slept obliviously on the couch. He asked for my number before I left. She continues. Just as friends, he said, but we started texting every day, and then calling, and then meeting for coffee when you were at work. And you never thought to mention any of this to me? I almost did, so many times, but the longer it went on, the harder it became. She looks at me pleadingly. I was falling in love with him, and I was terrified of losing you because of it. The word love hits me like a physical blow. This isn't just some fling. He feels the same way, Rachel says softly, reading my expression. It happened so fast, but it's real, more real than anything I've ever felt. I stand up and walk to the window, needing space. So what now? You two ride off into the sunset together, and I'm just supposed to be okay with how this all happened? No, we want to make this right, she hesitates. There's something else you should know. The way she says it makes my stomach drop. What? Tyler and I, we're looking for a place together. We've been apartment hunting for the past 2 weeks. Another secret, another plan they've made without me. Of course you are. We wanted to tell you everything at once. The relationship, the apartment, she trails off. What else haven't you told me? I demand. Rachel reaches for the gift bag on the table. This is for you. Tyler helped me pick it out. I take the bag reluctantly and pull out a small framed photo. It's the 3 of us from last Christmas. Rachel, Tyler, and me, arms around each other, laughing at something I can't remember. We look happy, normal, oblivious to what was coming. Turn it over, Rachel says quietly. On the back is a note in Tyler's messy handwriting. Family isn't just blood, it's choice. We choose you, always. Something about the simple message breaks through my anger, and tears spring to my eyes before I can stop them. We love you, Rachel says, her own eyes filling with tears. Both of us, and we want you in our lives, in whatever way you'll have us. My phone buzzes again. Tyler, for the 3rd time in 10 minutes. You should answer, Rachel says. He's worried sick about you. I pick up the phone, staring at his name on the screen. I need you both to understand something. I say, finally. If we're going to move past this, there can't be any more secrets. Not a single one. I promise, Rachel says immediately. I answer the call and put it on speaker. Oh, thank God. His voice comes through, relieved. Are you okay? Is Rachel there? I'm here, I say. And yes, she's here too. I've been trying to reach you for days, he says. I was about to drive over. I needed time. I know. I'm sorry. He pauses. Did Rachel tell you about the apartment? Just now. And I look at Rachel, who's watching me anxiously. And I think you two need to make a choice. What do you mean? Tyler asks. I mean, you can have your relationship or you can have me in your lives. But after everything that's happened, I'm not sure I can have both. The silence that follows is deafening. Rachel's face crumples. That's not fair, Tyler finally says, his voice tight. Neither was lying to me for 3 months. We know, Rachel interjects. And we'll do anything to make it right. Anything. Then prove it, I say. Show me that I can trust you again. Show me that I'm not just an afterthought in your relationship. Tyler sighs. What do you need from us? I consider the question carefully. Complete honesty, for starters. No more secrets. No more lies, no matter how small. Done, they say in unison. And time, I add. I need time to process all of this. Of course, Rachel says. Whatever you need. I look down at the framed photo in my hands. 3 smiling faces, unaware of the complications ahead. Part of me wants to throw it across the room, But another part, the part that misses my brother and my best friend, wants to hold on to it like a lifeline. I can't promise I'll get over this quickly, I warn them. Or that things will ever be the same. We don't expect them to be, Tyler says. We just don't want to lose you. Rachel reaches for my hand, and after a moment's hesitation, I let her take it. We choose you, she says softly, echoing the note. If you'll still have us. I don't answer right away. The hurt is still too raw, the betrayal too fresh. But as I look at Rachel's tearful face and listen to Tyler's anxious breathing through the phone, I realize that despite everything, these are still the two people I love most in the world. I need to think, I say finally. I can't give you an answer today. They both accept this without argument. As Rachel gets up to leave, she hesitates at the door. For what it's worth, she says, finding out this way was never the plan. But maybe it was inevitable. Maybe there was no good way to tell you that your brother and your best friend fell in love. After she's gone, I sit alone in my apartment, staring at the photo and wondering if she's right. If there was ever a way this could have ended without someone getting hurt. If the ultimatum I just gave them was fair or even possible to fulfill. The truth is, I don't know if I can forgive them, but I also don't know if I can live without them. 3 weeks of silence, 3 weeks of staring at my phone, watching notifications from both of them pile up, and refusing to engage. 3 weeks of showing up to work with puffy eyes, declining invitations from mutual friends, and lying to my parents about why I haven't been to their house for Sunday dinner. 3 weeks of wondering if I made the right choice with that ultimatum. I'm sitting in my car outside the same coffee shop where everything fell apart. The same corner table by the window is empty, waiting. I texted both of them this morning, the first contact I've initiated since that day at my apartment when Rachel cried and Tyler's voice cracked over the speakerphone. Meet me at 2 p.m. Same place. That was it. No explanation, no hint about what I was thinking or feeling. Just 7 words that brought me here, gripping my steering wheel and trying to work up the courage to go inside. Through the window, I can see them already sitting there. They arrived together. Tyler's arm is stretched across the back of Rachel's chair, that same possessive gesture that first told me they were a couple. Rachel is fidgeting with her silver bracelet, the one Tyler obviously gave her. They both look nervous, glancing at the door every few seconds. I take a deep breath and get out of the car. The little bell above the door announces my arrival, and their heads snap up in unison. Tyler half rises, then sits back down, unsure of the protocol. Rachel's smile is tentative, hopeful. You came, she says as I approach the table. I said I would. I slide into the chair across from them. Thanks for meeting me. Tyler clears his throat. We ordered you a latte. Cinnamon, extra shot, just how you like it. The fact that he remembers my coffee order shouldn't make my throat tight, but it does. The mug sits steaming in front of my place, like they've been saving it for me. Thanks, I say, wrapping my hands around the warm ceramic. An awkward silence falls. 3 people who used to talk over each other constantly, finishing each other's sentences, now can't seem to find a single word. So, I finally say, 3 weeks. 23 days, Tyler corrects automatically, then looks embarrassed. Not that I've been counting. Every minute, Rachel adds quietly. I take a sip of my latte. It's perfect. Exactly how I like it. I've been doing a lot of thinking. They wait, tension visible in their bodies. Rachel's knuckles are white around her mug. Tyler's knee is bouncing under the table. I'm still hurt, I continue. I'm still angry about the lies, but I've realized something important during these 3 weeks. What's that? Tyler asks. I look between them. These 2 people who mean everything to me. You're happy together, really. Genuinely happy, and as much as I hate how everything happened, I can't deny that. Rachel's eyes fill with tears. We are, but not completely, not without you in our lives. I know, I say softly. That's why I'm here. Tyler leans forward. Does this mean? It means I'm willing to try, I interrupt. I can't promise anything. I can't guarantee I'll ever fully trust either of you again. But I want to try. The relief on their faces is almost painful to witness. Rachel reaches across the table, her hand stopping just short of mine, waiting for permission. I hesitate, then place my hand over hers. There's something else, she says, exchanging a look with Tyler. Something we need to tell you. My stomach drops. More secrets? No, Tyler says quickly. No more secrets. Ever. But there's something we found out recently. Something we wanted to tell you in person. Rachel takes a deep breath. I'm pregnant. The words hang in the air between us. I stare at her, trying to process what she's just said. Pregnant? I repeat. How long have you known? 2 weeks, she says. I found out right after you gave us the ultimatum. Tyler reaches for her hand. We wanted to tell you right away, but we were trying to respect your need for space. I sit back in my chair, stunned. So, I'm going to be an aunt. If you want to be, Tyler says cautiously. We want you to be part of this baby's life. A big part. Rachel wipes at a tear sliding down her cheek. This is why we were so afraid to tell you about us in the first place. Things were moving so fast, and I was terrified of how you'd react. We both were, Tyler adds. But keeping it secret was the worst decision we could have made. I look at Rachel's stomach, still flat beneath her sweater. How far along? About 8 weeks, she says. It happened during the Florida trip. The timeline clicks into place, the secretive behavior, the panic when I discovered them, the urgency to move in together. It wasn't just about their relationship. They were preparing for a baby. Is this why you've been looking for an apartment together? I ask. Tyler nods. We want to be settled before the baby comes. But we've put everything on hold these past 3 weeks. Nothing felt right without your blessing. My blessing? I repeat, surprised. You don't need my permission to live your lives. Maybe not, Rachel says, but we need you in them, both of us. I think about the framed photo she gave me, still sitting on my bedside table. Family isn't just blood. It's choice. We choose you. Always. The baby changes things, I admit, makes everything more real. We know, Tyler says, and we understand if you need more time. No, I interrupt. No more time. No more distance. I take a deep breath. I want to be there. For all of it. The tension visibly drains from both their bodies. Rachel lets out a small sob of relief. Really? She asks. You mean it? I do, I say, surprised to find I truly mean it. I'm still processing everything, but I don't want to miss a single moment of my niece or nephew's life because I'm holding on to anger. Tyler's eyes are suspiciously bright. Thank you. You have no idea what this means to us. I think I do, I say, and I need you both to understand something. This baby doesn't automatically fix everything. We still have work to do. Trust to rebuild. Absolutely, Rachel nods eagerly. Whatever it takes. Complete honesty from now on, I say firmly, even when it's uncomfortable, even when you think it might hurt me. Promise, they say in unison. And I want to help with the apartment hunting, I add. If I'm going to be spending time with this kid, I need to make sure you're not living in some construction disaster zone Tyler picked out. Tyler laughs, the sound breaking the last of the tension between us. Deal! We could use your eye for detail anyway. Rachel squeezes my hand. There's one more thing. She reaches into her purse and pulls out a small envelope. We had our first ultrasound yesterday. I open the envelope with trembling fingers. The image is grainy, black and white, but there it is, a tiny bean-shaped blob that will become my niece or nephew. That's our baby, Tyler says, his voice thick with emotion. Our family, Rachel corrects gently, looking at me. The word hits me differently now. Family, not just Tyler and me, bound by blood and shared childhood. Not just Rachel and me, bound by 2 years of friendship, but all of us, bound by choice and now by this tiny person who will connect us forever. I trace the outline of the ultrasound with my finger. Does anyone else know yet? Just my parents, Rachel says. And yours? I look up sharply. My parents know? Tyler winces. They came by Rachel's place yesterday to drop off some old baby clothes they found in the attic. We weren't planning to tell them yet, but Mom took one look at Rachel and just knew. They wanted to call you right away, Rachel adds, but we asked them to let us tell you ourselves. I shake my head, smiling despite myself, so I really was the last to know. Again. Last but most important, Tyler says seriously. We wouldn't be celebrating this if you hadn't texted this morning. We've been miserable without you. I look between them, seeing the genuine remorse in their eyes, the hope, the love, not just for each other, but for me too. The hurt isn't gone, but it's fading, replaced by something warmer and more lasting. I've been miserable too, I admit. Turns out being right doesn't feel very good when you're all alone. Rachel laughs through her tears. So what happens now? I hold up the ultrasound. Now we start over, all of us. As we sit in that coffee shop making plans for doctor's appointments and apartment viewings and a proper family dinner to celebrate the news, I feel something unexpected. Relief. The weight of anger and betrayal I've been carrying for 3 weeks is lifting, replaced by anticipation for what comes next. I'm going to be an aunt. Tyler and Rachel are going to be parents. And somehow, against all odds, we're going to be okay. Not the same as before, that would be impossible, but maybe something better, something stronger, something chosen, not just given. Family isn't just blood, it's choice. We choose you, always. And finally, I choose them back.